Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Heights School Board of Education meeting on October 23rd, 2024 at 7 p.m. Will the treasurer please call the roll?
Mrs. Decker.
Here.
Mrs. Etter.
Here.
Ms. Prowse.
Here.
Mr. Dobbins.
Here.
Mr. Souchak.
Here, 5 present, none absent. On behalf of the board, I would like to welcome all students, staff, parents, and interested community members to tonight's Board of Education meeting. The board values and encourages public comment on education issues. Anyone having an interest in the actions of the board may participate during the public comments portion of the meeting, and if you wish to do so, please identify yourself on the sign-in sheet. A copy of the board meeting agenda is available for review on the school district's website, and we ask that you silence your cell phones during the meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this point, I'll entertain a motion for approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dobbins.
Second?
Second. Do we have any discussion, any comments, additions, subtractions, changes? Hearing none, treasurer, please call the roll.
Mr. Dobbins.
Aye.
Mrs. Decker.
Aye.
Mrs. Etter.
Aye.
Ms. Prowse.
Aye.
Mr. Souchak.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. At this point, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Mr. Young for Section 3 presentation, Section 4 spotlight, staff spotlight, and Section 5 a public hearing on the calendar.
Okay, we're going to start with first recognition would be our Students of the Month for the month of October. We're going to start with our high school and work our way backwards. So Mrs. Scotton is going to come up and present our high school Students of the Month for October.
Good evening, everybody. So our ninth grade student of the month is Brody Mahoney. Do not see him here. But Brody's teacher said that Brody has done a fabulous job adjusting to high school and his honor schedule. He has handled the start of the school year with much success and has remained focused, both athletically and academically. He is doing outstanding work in honors biology, receiving the highest score in the class on his last exam with a 104%. Keep up the great work. So congratulations, Brody. For 10th grade, we have Kara Burkhardt. Kara, can you please come on up? Kara lives in Seven Hills with her parents, Carolyn and Brian, and dog Blitzen. So naturally I asked, did we get Blitzen around Christmas and the holidays? And she said yes. Her favorite subject is art, and she's very passionate about it. Outside of school, she enjoys photography, especially nature. So we started kind of talking about how the leaves are at their peak for color. So there's going to be lots of great pictures to take here. 10 years from now, Kara sees herself with a job that she loves and is fun. Her favorite part of the high school is how nice and inclusive the students and staff are, and she really appreciated how everyone has welcomed her into our Heights family. So I thought that was really heartwarming. Here's what your teacher said about you. It is with great pleasure that we recognize Kara as our Student of the Month. From the very beginning, Kara has demonstrated exceptional dedication to her mathematical studies and set a high standard for her peers. She consistently arrives to class with a positive attitude. Her ability to focus during lessons is exemplary. Not only does Kara maintain outstanding performance on her assessments, but she is actively engaged in class discussion. She approaches challenging problems with determination and curiosity. Kara's presence and contributions make her a true pleasure to have in class, and she represents the type of students that every teacher hopes to have in their classroom. Congratulations, Kara. Congratulations. You can come stand right up here, Kara. All the way down by Mr. Dobbins. Yeah, sorry, Kara.
You'll have to
For the 11th grade, we have Hannah Jasny. Please come forward. Hannah lives in Garfield Heights with her parents, Jennifer and David, and her brothers. She has one dog, one cat, a guinea pig, and a snake. So I asked, okay, who's the favorite out of all the pets? And she said Thelma, her dog. Her favorite subject is chemistry because she really enjoys science. She is involved in a bunch of clubs and extracurricular activities, so hang on for this long list. Model UN, Scarlet Angels, Marching Band, Track, Yearbook Club, French Club, and Drama Club. She works at Cloverleaf Animal Hospital outside of school and says that her most memorable school experience was being in the production of Little Shop of Horrors. 10 years from now, Hannah sees herself working as a recreational therapist and having 3 cats. Here's what your teacher said about you, Hannah. Hannah is an exceptional student. In Algebra 2, she consistently completes all assignments on time, actively participates by asking questions in class, and performs at a high level on tests and quizzes. Her excellence also extends to chemistry, where she is described as a pure joy to have in class every day. Always bright-eyed and cheery, Hannah embodies the qualities of a disciplined student, coming prepared to learn, ask questions, and help others. Her positive attitude and dedication to her students not only contributes to the academic success, but also serves as a reminder to her teachers of why they enjoy teaching. Congratulations, Hannah. And last, we have Sophia Kish, who is our senior student of the month. And I don't see Sophia here, but here is what our staff said about Sophia. Sophia has always been a delight to have in class, or even just to see and chat with in the hallway. She is curious, creative, and a great person to have conversations with. She is consistently one of the first students in class to complete her work thoroughly, and she is very receptive to teacher feedback on her schoolwork. She appears to genuinely enjoy learning and never arrives at an answer or conclusion simply because it's what everyone else collectively settled on. Beyond her being an excellent student, she possesses a great taste in music and TV. She has an awesome sense of fashion, and her teacher has no doubt that the future holds great things for Sophia. So congratulations to Sophia. And that's our high school student of the month.
Okay, next we have Mr. Dietere, who will present our middle school students of the month.
Our first student from the middle school student of the month for October is from the 8th grade, Abigail Duggan. Please come forward. She has other activities, and she wasn't certain if she'd be here on time. I said, we got till about 7:10, 7:15, so knew we would be cutting it close. Here is, what I will do is I will read what her teacher who nominated her had written about her. We are proud to recognize Abigail as our Student of the Month for her outstanding demonstration of self-control. Abigail consistently exhibits the ability to manage her behaviors and stay focused on her goals, setting a positive example for her peers. Throughout the month, Abby has shown remarkable resilience in challenging situations, whether in the classroom or during group activities. She approaches tasks with a level head, making thoughtful decisions even when faced with distractions. Her ability to remain composed not only enhances her own learning, but also contributes to a positive classroom environment. Abby, your commitment to self-control is truly inspiring, and we are thrilled to celebrate your achievements this month. Keep it up. Fantastic work. Congratulations, Abby. Our 7th grade student of the month, Logan Benno. Logan is here tonight with his parents, Phil and Sarah. He has a younger sister and a dog named Chief. The family live in Brooklyn Heights. He has always attended Heights since pre-K, and Logan's favorite subjects in school are math and PE. He is a member of the school's football and basketball teams, as well as our band. Outside of school, he plays travel baseball and enjoys watching TV to relax. His most memorable experience at Kaga Heights was this year, getting to play football and the success that they had. When I asked him what he wants to become when he grows up, he says, a professional athlete. Or baseball, and I think he was really torn between either of them. So I asked, I said, if you could meet anybody famous, who would it be? And he said, he thought for a little bit, Bo Jackson, and get tips on how to be a two-sport athlete. Here is what Logan's teacher wrote. Logan Benno is the 7th grade's nomination for Student of the Month. He consistently excels in all academic areas, demonstrating a sets Logan apart is his remarkable self-control. Whether working independently or in a group setting, he exhibits patience, respect, and the ability to remain composed even in challenging situations. His positive attitude and thoughtful decision-making make him a role model for his peers. Congratulations to Logan for embodying the values of excellence and self-discipline. Keep up the fantastic work. We are proud of you. Congratulations, Logan.
Congratulations.
And our 6th grade student of the month, Evelyn Cadis. Please come forward. Evelyn is here tonight with her parents, Shauna and Michael. And she is the oldest of 3. She and her family are residents of Brooklyn Heights, and she has been a student of Cuyahoga Heights since pre-K as well. And I learned that both of her parents are alumni, and that she also has several relatives, mostly on her dad's side, and some on her mom's side, who are also alumni of Heights. So there's a strong Heights tradition here in this family. I asked Evelyn what her favorite subject was, and she said reading. She is a member of the school orchestra in which she plays the cello, and she is excited to get to play volleyball next year as a member of the Red Wolves volleyball team. Outside of school, what I learned is that she takes Irish dance lessons. And when she grows up, she plans to become a pediatrician. Her favorite part about being in our school is all the activities that she gets to be a part of. Here's what her teacher wrote. I am proud to nominate Evelyn Cadis as the 6th grade student of the month. She is responsible, helpful, and always willing to assist both her peers and teachers. Her kindness and positive attitude make her a friend to all, while her leadership and dedication set an excellent example for her classmates. Evelyn stands out to me. She is always doing the right thing and playing her best in orchestra. She is a true leader. Keep up the good work. Congratulations, Evelyn Cadis. And next we'll have Joel Melvin to come up and present the elementary school student of the month.
All right. First up, we have 4th grader Brianna Gira. I will say that she's been very excited about tonight. She's told me over and over, like, I'll see you tomorrow, I'll see you on Wednesday, I'll see you next Wednesday. And I said, I will see you there. So she's very, very excited about this. So, Bree is she resides in Garfield Heights with her mom, Becky, and her dad, Matt. She has 1 cat, Smoke, and 1 fish, Smalls. Her favorite subject is math because she likes participating and answering questions in math class. When asked about her absolutely must-haves in her life, she said that her cat, she is a cat lover, art in school, and out of school, she loves music. And then she loves to play with her neighbors, draw, color, and paint pictures. When she grows up, she wants to become a musician. College, she's not really sure yet. And the message to her parents is, thank you for bringing me to an awesome school, and she loves you. Here's what her teacher said about Bree. Brianna comes to school with a positive attitude and a smile on her face. She actively participates in class and is engaged in the lessons. We can always count on her to answer a question or share her ideas. When working in small groups, Brianna is a leader and sets a good example for the other students. We are so happy to have her as our 4th grade student of the month. Josh is also a resident of Garfield Heights. Lives with his family, Kaylin, dad Jerry, brother, kindergartner Carter. Has 2 cats, Chloe and Socks. His favorite subject is math because last year he won a math award, so he's an award winner. His absolutely must-haves are his phone, where he likes to play games of Madden and Baseball 9, and his family because he loves them. When he is out, or when he's home from school, he loves to go outside and play with his cousins. He loves to play kickball, baseball, and football. When he grows up, he wants to be an NBA player. College, once again, not really sure yet. And his message to his family is that he loves them. What teachers said about Josh is Josh comes to school ready to learn. He is a leader in the classroom and a role model to his peers. Josh always has his weekly assignments completed and is an active learner in all of his classes. When a concept is challenging, Josh perseveres. He is an outstanding addition to the 4th grade classroom. Keep up your great work and positive attitude.
All right, students, I'm going to have you wait up there until we get finished with the staff spotlight. Then, when we're finished with that, we'll take some time, take a short recess to get pictures in front of the CH backdrop, okay? So your family and staff can do that. And then you guys can go get ice cream, or you can play Fortnite, or you can stay up an extra hour late tonight. So whatever you negotiate with your family. All right, next item, this is the staff spotlight. I'd like to make a motion to approve the staff spotlight resolution for October 23rd, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
All right, nominated by Ms. Paula Schaefer, we have 5th grade teacher, Mr. Corey Taylor. Come on down. All right, I'm going to take the time to read the resolution to everybody here tonight. Whereas Corey Taylor has demonstrated unwavering dedication to the students and staff of our school, consistently embodying the highest standards of excellence in education, and whereas his patience and calming demeanor create a nurturing and positive learning environment for his 5th grade students, making him a trusted and respected figure in the classroom, and whereas Corey Taylor is a beacon of positivity, always offering a helping hand to both students and colleagues, contributing to a strong sense of community within the school. And whereas his commitment extends beyond the classroom, where he dedicates long hours and rarely misses a day of work, ensuring that his students receive the best possible education and support. And whereas Corey Taylor's leadership is exemplified through his service to the student council, his role as a boys basketball coach, and his willingness to engage with students in fun and meaningful ways, including the much anticipated tradition of letting students shave his head at the end of the year field day. Whereas Corey Taylor is recognized and celebrated for his exceptional dedication, hard work, and positive influence on the lives of our students and staff. His contributions reflect the true spirit of service, commitment, and passion for education, making him an invaluable member of our school community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Cuyahoga Heights Board of Education congratulates Corey Taylor on his October 23rd, 2024 selection to the Cuyahoga Heights Schools Staff Spotlight. I've seen Mr. Taylor in action, both in the classroom and on his kickball. He's a mean kickball. You're not going anywhere. Come on. Oh, I got a medal for you and everything.
We have to vote.
They still have to vote. They may not, but I think it's the kickball that should put him over the edge for this because, well, we lost the students versus staff last year, and it wasn't your fault. I think it was my fault and Mr. Salzheimer's fault back there. But no, it's all true. Mr. Taylor is a role model for us all on how to approach every day, on how to approach his students, on how to approach life. He's raised, he and his wife, 2 successful young men who have graduated from Cuyahoga Heights. And I said 3. How many did I say?
You said 2. There's
2. There were 3, and I was here for all 3 of them actually. But they're exceptional because you and your wife are exceptional. So thank you very much. So you should vote.
Make the formal vote, please.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Mrs. Decker?
Aye.
Ms. Prowse? Evans?
Aye.
Mr. Souchaki?
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Congratulations.
Yay!
All right, perfect. We'll take a 5-minute break to get photos with the backdrop and the Board of Education. Thank you.
At this point, we'll move to Section 5, and I'll turn it right back to Mr. Young.
All right, thank you. So, let me take a moment to read this. So, what this is the public hearing for the 2025-2026 district calendar. Ohio Revised Code Section 3313.48B states that not later than 30 days prior to adopting a school calendar, the Board of Education of each city, exempted village, and local school district shall hold a public hearing on the school calendar, addressing topics that include but are not limited to the total number of hours in a school year, the length of a school day, the beginning and end dates of instruction. The public hearing required under this division need not be a separate individual hearing. It may be part of another public hearing or board meeting. So what you see in the attachment, if you give me a moment here to pull it up. This is a draft that shows the start date for students being August 21st of 2025, with the majority of the student body being finished on June 5th of 2026. Currently, that's a total of 179 student days. I believe actually this year we have 176 student days, but the state does not recognize days as a school year anymore. That's been gone for a long time, but we still refer to days of school. It's actually hours of instruction. We have a 6.5-hour student instructional day. Lunch does not count, and time in homeroom and all that to start the day and end the day does not count. So if we take 179 times 6.5, that gives us 1,163 hours of instruction. The minimum instruction at the, I believe it starts in 7th grade and up, is 1,001 hours. So if I subtract 1,001, we are 162.5 hours above the state minimum. Divide that by 6.5, that's equivalent to 25 days. We are 5 weeks of school above the minimum allotted by the state of Ohio, which is important because when we get concerned about calamity days, snow days, and power outage days, and so on, and how long can you miss before you have to make up time? We've got 5 weeks. We've got 5 weeks of school that we could technically miss and still be above the minimum. Now, if you're talking younger grades, kindergarten through 6th grade, that number is 910 hours. So, again, take that number of hours, and then we're going to drop another approximately 90 hours off of that. We definitely exceed the minimum requirement at the elementary school level. So that's just some information there, and this is an opportunity. And even if we're going to take the whole month to collect any feedback, I know that when I came here as principal, we had moved graduation or commencement to Memorial Day weekend, and at first, people weren't. It was kind of odd, because we had moved it from the week after moved it up a week. But then over time, I think people get used to that being a long weekend. People could come in from out of town and not have to get back to work then on Monday. So there's some conveniences to it. But right now, the way the calendar has fallen, you'll see that commencement is the week after Memorial Day. So if we can get some feedback on that. And then our goal is to really keep spring break in part of March. The goal would be to have it all in March, but that last week of March and into the first week of April, we know that state testing starts at the end of March and beginning of April, and to have spring break in the middle of all that, like we have this year, is a major momentum obstacle for us to overcome. So we're navigating that this year because we've always aligned it with Easter. There may become a time, and that's what we're thinking, is that maybe it's time for spring break to be in late March all the time. It doesn't tend to affect sports as much if people go out of town because, quite honestly, with the weather shifting about 6 weeks, if you think about how weather patterns are right now, it's about 6 weeks different from where I grew up. It's still winter in March. It snowed on Mother's Day like 2 out of the last 4 years. So, but anyway, that's what you'll see there. So it's right now it mirrors what you have this year, with the exception that spring break has shifted. It's still with Easter. It happens to be around Easter because Easter falls late March. So that's just a little information about that, and it's an opportunity for anybody who's here now to speak on it. The board could speak on it. But as I said, I've given this to our staff, and it's available for the community to give feedback on. So that's a requirement in Ohio Revised Code, and I wanted to ensure that we get that, the proper time to review the calendar for next year.
Okay, any comments?
Say another thing with that is the Career Center typically has their spring break. That lasts with the week of March as well, because that's when the majority of the districts have theirs. So
Yeah.
it benefits our students that they actually get a spring break with that being aligned.
Yeah, most often our students who go to the Career Center don't get a spring break, full spring break, because when we're out, they're in session at the Career Center. And then when the Career Center's out, we're in session here. So we're trying to do some things that are smart and still ensure that our students are getting the proper education
Okay,
that they're known to receive.
all right. Well, thank you. So let us move on to Section 6, comments from the public. No one signed up. So we'll move on to Section 7, treasurer's business.
Thank you. Just a couple items tonight. I ask for motions 7A, 8A, and 8C for approval tonight.
Okay, entertain a motion for the treasurer's business.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Proust,
Second.
second by Mr. Dobbins. Any discussion?
Yep. 8A is our bank reconciliation, financial reports, and payments for board review for the month of August 2024. 8B is our annual resolution to authorize advancement of local taxes from Cuyahoga County. If everybody's to look at that and click on the attachment that says Real Property Tax Advance Schedule 2025, we click on that attachment, that's the tax advance schedule from Cuyahoga County. So all the way at the bottom, in yellow, it says, taxing authorities wishing to receive tax advances in 2025 must submit a resolution to the County Budget Commission by December 31st, 2024. So we're doing it a little earlier tonight just to make sure we have it in place. But what we can see is that means that we get our taxes advanced to us, if we look in January 15th, February 14th, and then the settlement, the remaining amount, March 14th. If we didn't do this, we would get everything March 14th, so we get the money sooner. So that's how it works. So then for the second half of the year, we get that first advance in July 15th, and then everything else August 15th. If we didn't do this resolution, we would get it all August 15th. So that's how we do this. And the last item we have, 8C, is the audit engagement letter. So our auditors are with the Auditor of State's office for our annual yearly audit that we have. Fiscal 24 is in place, and that engagement letter just outlines the summary of services, the fee, and just description of all the communications from the auditor's offices. A lot of the work that we have to start gathering and whatnot, so it's busy season for us.
Are they here yet, or when are they coming?
Oh, they've been here.
That's what I
So,
thought.
yeah, it's, we had our informal entrance conference, Matt and myself, and, yeah, hit the ground running, so, as we go. Those are the items I have for tonight, unless there are any
Okay,
questions.
any other questions or discussion on the treasurer's business? Hearing none, treasurer, please call the roll.
Ms. Kraus?
Aye.
Mr. Dobbins?
Aye.
Mrs. Decker?
Aye.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Mr. Souchaki?
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Section 9, I'm sorry, Section 10, treasurer's comments and discussion.
Just one tonight. This is our tentative timeline for the November 2024 five-year forecast. We would look to present it at the November 6th work session, and then approve it 2 weeks later, November 20th.
Okay,
That's good. Perfect. All right, thank you.
that's it. Okay, very good, thank you. Mr. Muccio, moving on to the superintendent's business, and we'll turn it over to Mr. Young.
Thank you. All right, I ask that item 11A and B, item 12A, item 13A, item 14A, item 15A and B be considered for approval.
Okay, may I have a motion for those items, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dobbins,
I'll second.
a second by Ms. Decker. Is there any discussion?
All right, so under 11, which is general superintendent's business, we've got the approval of all chat staff, which are our teachers, to be approved as elementary school detention supervisors on an as-needed basis. This occurs outside the contracted workday. Letter B is an MOU with Chase. A section of the contract was inadvertently left out when we approved that back in July, so working with their leadership to get that section, it's Article 27, had a section that was left out, an important section. So that sometimes happens when you transfer from an older contract to another. Number 12, this is the resignation of bus driver. We'd actually hired Ms. LaPenta back in September, but it turns out that if she took on the employment here, it would have actually a negative financial impact on her her annual income because of Social Security. And so she apologized. She was appreciative of the opportunity, and I understand that sometimes things don't work out. Number 13, these are our supplemental positions these are for our winter sports. So you'll see assistant bowling, assistant basketball girls coaches. You got winter faculty managers, a head wrestling coach, 2 assistant wrestling coaches, head boys and girls swimming coach, 2 scoreboard operators, and the high school girls basketball scorer are part of that list. Next, under agreements, section 15, final section here. The first is the pool rental agreement with the City of Independence. City of Independence, I had asked for an agreement to approve. There is a typo in there. I confirmed that today. It is for the 3 lanes that are guaranteed to us for the entirety of the swim season at no cost to the school district. And this is an agreement that locks that in for us, which was an important piece. I know a couple of you had asked for something a little bit more concrete. And so that is that agreement for your consideration. And then we've got the T-Mobile hotspots. We've had the hotspots since COVID, and this allows us to renew half of the original amount. We originally had started with 10. We started with 20. We're now down to 10. And we do use these throughout the district to boost some of our capabilities, especially during testing. Is it 12? I think it's up to 12. I'm pretty sure it's 10, but the requisition's up to 12. Yeah, in case we needed to add a couple, we have that capability. So that's it for those particular items.
Do we have any questions for the superintendent?
No, but I just want to say thank you to the City of Independence for working out that schedule for our students, our swimming students.
And I think, and again, I haven't approached Mayor Bocci yet, but we had a conversation with him that this may be a possibility, and if there was a way that he could assist us with that. That was back in August. We put out those feelers, and so this came our way late September, early October. So I'm going to have a conversation. We've made our way around to the mayors, and so he's up next again for me to visit now that we've visited all 3 now. So.
I'll express our thanks to the mayor of Cuyahoga Heights for doing this for us. And I'll probably see the mayor of Independence at the State of the Communities, that the business, whatever that, I can't.
Chamber of Commerce?
Chamber of Commerce has the State of the Communities, and I'll be attending that as part of the Career Center. So I'll make sure to thank Mayor Kurtz for his involvement too, and if I get a chance. I think it's great that the 2 communities are cooperating on this item under the circumstances. So, anything else? Hearing none, Treasurer, please call the roll.
Mr. Dobbins.
Aye.
Mrs. Decker.
Aye.
Mrs. Etter.
Aye.
Ms. Prowse.
Aye.
Mr. Souchaki.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Superintendent discussion and comments, number 17.
Yeah, I think a few things to go over here. First, fall sports are winding down, as we know. For those that have seniors, this is the first of the lasts are happening right now, and I'm going through that with my with my younger son in college. He graduates in December. I can't believe that our youngest one's about to be done, but I remember how that felt in high school as well. But this Thursday, our boys soccer team is in the district semifinal against, they're actually in Hartville against Lake Center Christian at 4:30. Also on Thursday, our volleyball team is down at Smithville versus Wellsville. This is the district final, starts at 5 o'clock. Those two times actually put a big stress on your school district to start at 4:30 and 5 o'clock when our routes don't even get back until 5 o'clock, some of them. So, but we're going to get our kids there. We're going to be ready to roll. Friday night we play Brooklyn. It's our last regular season game. It's away. It's at Brooklyn at 7. But then we're most likely to have a playoff game on November 1st. So stay tuned for that. Senior Serving Seniors was tonight down at Klima Gardens. We had 75 sign up. I don't know if 75 made it, but it was a great event. We had moved it down there so that our seniors, when working with Mark Chase, an alumnus connected to the Alumni Association, he helped the kids prepare the meal, serve the meal, prepare for the dinner, and they got to interact. The Senior Serving Seniors was a great way for the multiple generations to get together. Our band came down and played as well. I'm grateful to all the advisors who were there as well, and Mrs. Deal just did a tremendous job of setting all that up. You got your CVCC dinners tomorrow night, correct, Mr. Suchaki? Mr. Burek is going to be pinch hitting for me, so I can go to Smithville to the district final volleyball game. Smithville's nowhere near Cuyahoga Heights, and even if you drew a straight line on the map, you can't take a straight line to get there. So I'm going to go down and represent the school district down there in the district finals, and he will go in my place that way. And I'll make sure I notify them tomorrow. Best committee was last week. We had broken off into two groups, safety and security, and then a facilities group. And it was really good to have some open dialogue and to kind of get perspective of where people's thoughts and what space we're operating in so that we can address all the different buckets that we need to consider here. And we're going to get into more specificity at the next meeting. We're going to have a guest speaker come in and talk about their facilities, approaches and planning and obstacles and successes and all those things so that it can help. But those two particular pillars are not disconnected, and we want to make sure that underlying all that are the finances where the other Matt over here really has been beneficial in trying to help us think strategically about that. In fact, his idea is to somehow come up with a 5-year facilities forecast that lays on top of the 5-year financial forecast so you can actually see how all these things match up and where your opportunities are and where your gaps are. We have board policies that have finally come out. It took a long time to update these board policies. Usually you've done a couple rounds of those by now. Some of these laws go into effect tomorrow. I'm going to talk about one of them here shortly. We have 33 policies as just the normal category of policies. And there's another 11 that are called EDGAR policies that are mostly financial. So at November meeting, I'm going to bring 33 of those policies to you because the laws go into effect tomorrow on these, and we don't have updated policies. And we just received them this week from Neola because Senate Bill 29 alone and its impact on schools affects several policies. A lot of your bylaws have been rewritten because of the lawsuits that have occurred by the individual going around suing boards of education. The last one successfully settled out of court is Stone Monroe Falls for the sum of $6,000. So again, this is Neola trying to ensure that bylaws and policies are written in ways that make you pay attention to the processes of things, such as having a public notice for your district calendar. That's been a law for a long time. I notice we haven't been doing it. We need to do that. Okay, so those are the kind of things that we need to make sure that we're paying close attention to. Speaking of Senate Bill 29, so tomorrow parents and students are going to receive a notification from me because we have to notify families if we choose to generally monitor student devices. Senate Bill 29 is all about student privacy, privacy for big tech companies, what they're allowed to have, how they're allowed to have access, what our contracts have to say, how they have to read, which is all good things, because we don't want to sign on with somebody who's going to sell our children's data to a third party. We don't want somebody monitoring our children's data that has no business monitoring their data, so that part is good. There are some other things, though, that are going to be cumbersome for a school district, and that's the notification piece. So we essentially cannot monitor students' devices anymore, with the exception of six caveats. One of them being if we have an educational purpose. So for example, if I'm monitoring students' devices during a secure test, we have the ability to bring up 20 little screens on our one screen to ensure kids are not leaving to practice academic integrity in any way. We have the ability to have students do papers in Google Docs and share it through Google Classroom. And we can go back and check that child's revision history to see, are they authentically writing, or are they copying and pasting huge chunks of information? Are we plagiarizing, or are we practicing academic integrity? Sometimes we get notifications when assignments, students in social studies studying Germany in the 1930s and 40s might start typing a paper about Nazi Germany. As soon as Nazi gets typed in, it triggers our system. That lets us know that some key word, not necessarily determined by us, but determined by light speed, kill, To Kill a Mockingbird. That's another example. Every time somebody types in kill, we get a notification. Sometimes students actually are thinking about self-harm. We have to check, and we always do, every single one of those alerts that we receive. Those that are tied to a classroom assignment, we have not acted upon. It's just a classroom assignment. Those that were more serious, we jump into action. We have a whole team and a whole process, so we do that. All of those things now require a parent notification within 72 hours, a written notification. So if your child is taking a secure test, you're going to get a notification from us. And then if later in the day they're typing a paper and they're saying To Kill a Mockingbird and it alerts our system, we're going to do that, alert you again. And if they're writing a paper on it and the teacher is looking at their revision history, you're going to get notified again. This has the ability for, in bigger school districts, personnel to be sending out hundreds of notifications a day. And it's all law. And if we don't adhere to the law, they have tied it more stringently to our license. So if Mrs. Prowse emails, Mr. Young, you don't have to send me any more alerts unless it's something that's serious, I'm going to tell her I'm not going to do that because my license is connected to it and this is the law. And that's what we're going to do. So parents, we apologize. You need to contact your state legislators. And our advocacy groups have been working with state legislators, and we think that during the lame duck session, there's going to be some movement on these notifications, that we will not have to be sending as many of the notifications. Because they're concerned that their voters are going to get unhappy with them because they're getting too many notifications for a law that they passed, which has really good parts to it. We do want to protect our data and our kids' data. We don't have time to sit and monitor kids' devices all day, by the way. What I mean is monitor devices just because we feel like it. All right, that's what I mean by that. And then number two, though, if parents start to receive so many notifications, they become desensitized to what the intent of the notification is that we have a problem. And what we don't want to do is desensitize people to that. And I think there's going to be some movement on that one piece, that notification piece. So we're hoping by January 1 that we've made some headway and that law is going to be modified. But that's going to come out tomorrow, and if people are wondering what that is, I'll put more information in my upcoming newsletters to communicate exactly what the ramifications are.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I do have one question about the notification process. And how, at this point, is it possible to discern how manually driven it's going to be or will be? Is it literally a teacher taking his or her time to look at 15 to 20 input documents? documents or inbound documents and then having to manually prepare some type of a
So,
notice?
yeah,
Or is it
so-
all automated?
So two parts of that. First, it's 72 hours. We have 72 hours to notify.
Okay.
All right. And I can see that probably going into effect when we're talking about classroom assignments. That never happens when we have an actual situation. I mean, you'll get your written notification, but you're going to have a phone call and a major intervention happening long before you get that written notification. And that happens 100% of the time. What we do, though, we have a prepared statement. It's very compliancy that's been prepared by our law firm. And it's actually, I think all the law firms kind of got together and modeled something very similar. So we have that. We've shared that with staff, and we have told them if you're going to monitor students' devices during a test, which you have the right to do for academic integrity, as we use Chromebooks a lot, when you're done, we have distribution lists through ThrillShare. Mr. Hartman can help them set those up if they don't know how, and we can send out that written notification through an email blast that goes to each family. Okay, when you're talking about large-scale things like that. But we are going to have to make sure that we're doing that. If we're going to, we've got 20 kids and we're going to look at their papers and we can only do 6 a day, well, you're going to have to do those 6, and then you're going to do these 6, and you're going to do these 6. All right, and again, I think it's going to be manageable for what we can do here. We have a really great team in place. We've been talking about this for 4 months now. We've been talking about this since July. We've known it's coming since it got passed and what the implications were. We knew about it before that, actually. And we've been preparing for it. So bigger school districts are going to have a lot bigger issue. So the lame duck session will be happening after the election. There are more than 20 bills that deal with taxes, most of which would not hold school districts harmless. So we're going to be looking very, very closely at that. I'm part of 3 different advocacy groups and receive frequent information on the status of those, the status of those bills and where the movement's going to be. A lot of times you're going to get bills that get combined together. For example, you've got a College Credit Plus bill combined with a bathroom bill. So College Credit Plus, dealing with academics, has made its way to bathrooms and who should have access to what bathrooms. All right, so we've made something very political and connected it to something that's academic for students. And that is likely to happen quite a bit in the lame duck session with some of these bills that are going to be coming through. There are some that are very concerning for public schools. And again, this isn't a political thing, this is a factual thing. The Speaker of the House has said we can kind of do anything we want right now because they have a supermajority. And the Speaker of the House is majorly pro-voucher, pro-private school, pro-shifting funds to building structures for private schools, pro going as far as saying if you are not at 60% capacity within a school, wanting to close your school building and make that school building available to a charter school in your school district. So those types of things are concerning if it goes that far, and we really need to educate everybody. And we've talked a lot about our boards of education and our local councils and mayors, because they're the ones that can really make things happen. They're getting tired of hearing of superintendents, and they don't listen to teacher unions anymore. So it's we just want a level playing field. That's all. All right, I've spoken way too much, and I apologize, but there's a lot of news and information out there.
Any other questions or discussion? No? Hearing none, okay, let's move on to section 18. There is no board agenda, consent agenda for tonight, so we'll move to 19, board committee reports and comments. Anyone?
I just want to thank the administration and others that they had a hand in tonight's serving seniors lunch or dinner. It was, I thought, very well done, and the change in venue to me was a real positive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good idea.
It was a nice event. It was well organized, and I like the mixing of the generations, the seniors here, serving seniors.
Yeah, and Mark did a great job. He had the students prepared. I went back in the kitchen to say something
Yeah.
to him afterwards, and he was obviously handling the whole thing and keeping everybody moving and on the right track.
Well, as I mentioned tonight, we've got 2 more events coming up this year. We've got the holiday music reception that we have right before the holidays, and we do a reception in the North Gym. So it's an opportunity for our band, our orchestra, and our choirs and Scarlet Angels to sing holiday music, and then we go in for a small reception afterwards. And then with the Wizard of Oz, I believe it's the first week of April, we want to do a dress rehearsal the day before the musical opens, and we want to, again, bus in our senior citizens and let them see what the dress rehearsal looks like, and all of those things. They don't cost anything except an invitation and a warm place for people to come in the wintertime and feed them. Food's always important. So we want to do more of those things if we can and expand it. I had done a seniors teaching seniors program when I was at Copley. The senior citizens would come in and our kids would teach them how to use technology responsibly, how to set up Facebook and Instagram and email so that they weren't opening themselves up to spam or to malware, allowing them to do some really neat things with technology. And then they would come in. We had a seamstress, somebody that was her hobby, and they came in and made all the costumes for our musical. We had somebody who was a retired civil engineer who came in and worked with our physics class on some a rocket experiment. Things like that where they learned from us, but then they came into our schools and then we learned from them. And it was just a really cool connection that we had done. And it went away when I left to come to Cuyahoga Heights. They didn't continue it. So it would be nice to have something like that again.
And we've done a little bit of that. I know I've given presentations on map reading and give directions, things that I knew from scouting. And I can't remember which teacher it was that had that unit, but I remember being out on the football field and setting kids up and teaching them how to use a compass and read maps and that kind of stuff. So, we have occasionally done that here, and it would be nice to do it some more.
Yep.
Okay, so where did we leave off? That was 19. Any other comments that fall under the discussion? Don't forget tomorrow night, it'll be a good dinner in the Valley Inn. So look forward to being there. That'll be my 3rd dinner in 3 nights. It's a pretty good deal. I don't have to cook most of the week.
Starts at 5, right?
It's at 5.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Brooklyn Heights Men's Service Club was last night, we had tonight. Just a good week for me, anyhow. Future agenda items, anyone? Okay, hearing none, it should be noted, informational items. Board of Education members received their agenda several days prior to the meeting and have had considerable opportunity to study and ask questions and so on. Upcoming regular meetings, November 6th at 6, November 20th at 7, and December 11th at 6 p.m., all in the professional development room where we are now. At this point, I'd like to make a motion to enter executive session pursuant to RC Section 121.22G1 to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, and G5, matters required to be kept confidential by federal law or regulations or state statutes. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Mr. Dobbins. Any discussion? Hearing none, Treasurer, please call the roll.
Mr. Suchaki?
Aye.
Mr. Dobbins?
Aye.
Mrs. Decker?
Aye.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Ms. Prowse?
Motion passes 5-0. It is 8:01. We are moving into executive session. There will be no action taken at the conclusion of that session.